Well, folks, we're just a day over 2 weeks away from the 2024 presidential election, and I've got some good news and some bad news for you regarding presidential polling. Let's start with the bad news. Donald Trump is currently surging with a very large population here in the United States, a population where he has over 60% of their support. Now, that's the bad news. The good news is that these are people who not only cannot vote, but people who Donald Trump may soon be joining because it's people in prison, specifically white men currently locked up behind bars. According to a new survey that actually got responses from 54,000 people in 785 prisons and jails in 45 states and the District of Columbia. So that is a huge sample size. It's also an insane amount of prisons to have in one country, and that's not even all of them. But yes, this survey found that 60% of white inmates support Donald Trump. That is probably the least surprising poll I've ever heard of. In fact, most of them also downplay the fact that Donald Trump himself is a convicted felon who is currently awaiting his prison sentence. But at least now he knows if he goes to jail, no matter where he goes to jail apparently, he's going to be among friends. So he shouldn't have anything to worry about. And hopefully Judge Juan Merchan does take that into consideration, because I know it's been a little confusing. What if he goes to jail? How does the Secret Service protect him? Well, you don't have to worry as much, because apparently people in prisons love Donald Trump. Let me read you this. This is from a man by the name of Enrique Bande Garcia, a Trump supporter who's incarcerated in Washington State Penitentiary. He said this: "I'd say there is a majority of open support for Trump within the inmate population here, especially among the whites. And yes, we understand that Republicans are very tough on criminals and even tougher on us during our incarceration. Nevertheless, Trump remains very popular here." Gee, who would have thought that the convicted felon would resonate with convicted felons, and that they wouldn't be flocking to Vice President Kamala Harris, who used to be a prosecutor who, get this, put people in prison? Yeah, shocking, right? It's even weirder. Incarcerated respondents were more inclined than those outside prison to be lenient toward Trump's convictions for falsifying business records to cover up a hush money payment to adult film actress Stormy Daniels. Only about a third of respondents said he should be sentenced to prison, though some thought it would be an experience he should get. One respondent wrote, quote, "Donald Trump needs to see with his own eyes what normal people suffer here in prison and how unjust it all is, all the laws and the prison system." A significant number of incarcerated Republicans, roughly 73%, said Trump should make good on his pledge to be a dictator on day one of his presidency, nearly the same share as the 74% of Republicans on the outside who say the same thing. So whether you're a Republican in prison or a Republican not in prison, about 3/4 of them say that Trump should be a dictator on day one. But I actually want to circle back to the comment I just read from the incarcerated individual. The U.S. prison system here is hell. It is absolutely unjust and unfair to inmates. And I don't want to downplay that at all in this segment. I don't want you to think that's what I'm doing or that I'm making fun of anybody who is currently serving time. These people are going through absolute hell when they shouldn't be. They're not being reformed. They are not getting the necessary help that they need. They are simply being punished. They're being put in this timeout where they are abused, both just physically and sexually, and nobody does anything to help them. They are being price gouged at the prison commissaries. They're being price gouged on making phone calls. It is horrible what these people have to go through. So I don't want to downplay that at all. But I do want to say it is kind of funny that, the people who are also convicted felons seem to be flocking towards the guy who is also a convicted felon. Now, because these people are currently incarcerated, none of them are able to vote for him, so I don't even know why the survey was conducted. I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, like, let's get the opinions on what these people think who they would vote for if they were allowed to vote. So, kind of weird. Seems like a little bit of a waste of time, but it was conducted nevertheless. And there you have it. Thanks for watching today, everybody. And don't forget, if you're not already, please do subscribe to this channel. We have fresh content going up every single day, and I would really hate for you to miss out on that. And speaking of missing out, if you're not following me across all other social media outlets, then get on it. You can follow the links in the description of this video.